First of all, I want to talk about your song, So Good. I mean, it is quite literally so good. We love it here on Capital. I mean, how did the song come about?
Well, thank you, first of all. That means a lot. And also, we're doing the same thing over here in Halsey land. It's so funny. We keep being like, oh, it's so good. Like, we got the first pass of the music video back, and we're like, oh, it's so good. We're just like looking at each other with like, the craziest faces, like, you did the thing, it's so funny. And it's funny at first, and then after like a couple weeks of it, you start to be like, it's so good. I'm so glad you guys like it. Yeah, I mean, it was really crazy after the last album, If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power. I was kind of like stumped on what to put out next. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, wow, where do I go from here? I've done a lot of different genres in the past couple years. You guys are so amazing. You've always played so many of the records no matter what. I had you guys playing a rock country song a couple years ago, so that was really cool. But so after the last record, I was kind of like, where do I go from here? And I think that it kind of ended up happening really naturally. I just wrote like a sing-along kind of levy pop song, and that's just what was like, what I was feeling at the time. And it was a story that I really wanted to tell. It was a lot of people, I feel like, were like, Halsey had a baby. Who is this guy? What's going on? Tell us everything. I had the luxury of kind of getting to go through these stages of life in private a little bit, I guess, during the pandemic, because I was home the whole time. And that was amazing, but it meant I had a lot of catching up to do to tell everybody about what had happened in my life for those past few years. And this song was kind of the beginning of me starting to tell that story.
That's so cool. So basically the song, if people listen closely, is all about your partner, Alev, who is a screenwriter. He also directed the music video for So Good. This is what we've been told. Is this correct?
Yeah, it's true. It's funny. I asked him to direct the video because we had met a few years ago. He was originally hired by a studio to write a movie about me. And I know what you're thinking, which is, why would they write a movie about you? I don't know either, but I went along with it. I was like, maybe this will be cool. And, of course, surely I assumed that they would write the movie and then it would come out when I was important enough to have a movie, especially because this was like years ago, so I was really just starting out. But I had met him, and I had met a bunch of writers, and I'd interviewed a bunch of people, and I don't think I've ever told this part of the story before, which is really cool.
Go on.
I had interviewed a bunch of people, and I was kind of like, I don't know, it was like the most extreme form of dating. You're meeting you're interviewing these writers who are going to tell your story and write your voice and write words that you would have said or will say. So you're like just totally scrutinizing everyone. You know what I mean? Like, do you get me? Do you get me? And I remember when I walked in the room, immediately I was like, sold. I loved the way he walked. I loved the way he talked. He was from New York, and it felt like he really got me. And I remember thinking in that moment, this person is going to be very important to me. He's going to be like an important part of my life. But at the time I was just thinking, he's going to write a really cool movie about me. We stayed friends for a while, and he followed me around on tour, interviewing me and asking me all these questions, getting to know all my deepest, darkest secrets. And after a while, I kind of looked at him and was like, you know so much about me, and I don't know anything about you. And I started to interview him back.
I have to ask, because obviously you've just come off stage. I'd imagine that, you've had a really good gig and all that sort of stuff. But like, your fan base is pretty cool. Like, they're out there on Twitter. They're like all over the place. Like, how does it feel having that sort of support?
Kind of mind blowing. I'm not going to lie. Especially at this stage in my career. I think like this past year or so has been the year where I kind of dissolved that chip on my shoulder, where I used to always feel like I was just starting out and I had so much to prove, and like I just always felt like the new kid on the block. And then I think at a certain point I was like, well, I'm not the new kid anymore. There's a lot of other new kids, I'm kind of like, I'm here to stay. and parts of that are scary, but also parts of that are like liberating and they're freeing, you know, and it's amazing. You know, this show, for example, there was like probably 30 people all along the barricade in a room full of like 15,000 people. And I recognized every single one of them.
Wow.
From the first few shows that I had played here. And if I looked past them, there was more people I recognized, and past them, there was more people I recognized. And it's just really heartwarming sometimes when you see people who've supported you along your entire journey, like no matter who you've become or who you've changed into. And like, I don't know, there's something really amazing about that. I feel like they kind of share with me the most vulnerable parts of themselves. So I kind of feel like I have a responsibility to do the same.
Yeah, 100%. And look, I mean, you speak to your fans regularly, obviously. And am I right in saying that you said that this song would only get released if it went viral on TikTok? Right?
Yeah.
And then I've got here that you said that you said you're going to use TikTok to take over the world via witchcraft.
Yes.
What does Halsey's world via witchcraft look like?
Well, in my ideal world, I guess over here stateside, it definitely looks a lot different. You know, there's like a lot of things that I would change, but I think it's going to probably take a lot more than some magic potions. The you know, the energy and the tenacity of these amazing young people, you know, who are in the crowds and like who have kind of cultivated into this fan base I'm lucky enough to have, you know, and I love them so much for that. But as far as So Good goes, yeah, there was a little bit of a hiccup along the way of putting it out, but as usual, my fans know how to kick a door down.
Oh yeah.
They did, and
Well,
they helped me release it, you know.
The last interaction that you and I had was quite, for lack of a better word, aggressive.
It was heated.
So you and I have had an ongoing debate about Robert Pattinson playing Batman. Right now, this started when it was this is years ago now. This might be three years ago that it was announced that Robert Pattinson would be Batman, and you and I got into a heated debate over whether or not he was good enough to do it. I was unsure. I will admit that.
This is a lot of words when you could have just can just say I was wrong.
Well,
a lot of words.
well, Halsey, I may have been wrong.
No, don't say may have. Say you were wrong.
I may have been wrong.
You love
You
our
were
Pats.
Hey, well, the thing is I even tried to DM Halsey to tell her that I was sorry, but she didn't even read it.
She blocked you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
she blocked me.
it's about right,
no,
Halsey.
she blocked me. She blocked me.
I'm so sorry. I did not block you. But I think that here's the thing. I think we agree on most things.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes we disagree on superhero films and mercenary, amazing, all-time, very cool, totally nailed it characters in those films. And I think that's okay. I think a healthy friendship for us is disagreeing on some things, you know?
Okay, that's fine. And we can both agree that Chris Pratt shouldn't be playing the new Mario, right?
Oh, no way. I can't. As an Italian from New Jersey,
You
Oh,
agree?
we agree.
Unbelievable.
We agree.
We're all friends.
Oh, we agree.
Yes. We're friends again.
Amazing. Halsey, so lovely to chat to you once again. And as I say, congratulations, because we haven't been able to speak since you become a mum. So congratulations on
congrats.
everything. I do want to say that.
Thank you, guys.
And,
Thank you so much.
And hopefully we'll see you next time you're back in the UK.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you guys definitely very soon. I'll be over there in a couple weeks. I'll pop in. I'll say hi. I'll bring donuts or something.
Amazing.
yes.
That sounds great. Everyone, let's hear it for Halsey on Capital Breakfast.
Woo, yeah.